And we are back. We are finally back. Welcome to the third annual Sage Standout Game of the Week reveal. It's incredible that I can even say that. Listen, we're not going to waste too much time, but I know you guys like to be fast, be late, so I'm going to let some people file in. Of course, I'm not alone. Mr. TYJ, what's going on, man?
Can't complain, bro. You know, it's the best time of the year. Like I always say, it's just a different energy around football season. And, I'm just happy that it's back, man. Can't wait to chop it up with the guys and everybody else all over the city. It's going to be a great year, man. How y'all feeling?
Jared, how you feeling, man?
Dude,
Newsday, Uzzi Sports.
yeah, another year, man. So excited. I was looking forward to this for quite some time, man. I'm happy that we're almost at the start of football season, and I think everyone's gonna be super excited with what we got for this upcoming year. And yeah, man, I'm pumped to be back with the guys. I mean, this season's gonna be amazing, and yeah, stay active in the chat. It's all amazing stuff here, man.
So first of all, I know these guys are on the other side of the glass. My guy Ed was good, my boy. Nice to see you. Top two, not two. That's Ed, and of course, my guy Mac on the other side, man.
Oh man.
How's it feel to be on the other side, man? And of course, Tone. What's up, my guy? Salute to you as always, Tone. Yo, somebody said, "Where's Ed?" Wrong show.
Pete, don't say it like that, Pete, man. You happy to tune in, man, and see
Oh,
what's
come
going
on,
Yo,
on.
Pete.
Pete, you know we are,
Come on,
you know we
Pete.
your first cousins, Pete. The PSAL.
Yeah,
Come on,
Whoa,
like,
man.
come
man.
on, Pete.
Come
Come
on,
on,
man.
Pete.
Kendu, what up? If this is Kendu, usually Kendu has a different. Maybe Kendu got a different YouTube than
What's up,
usual.
Kendall? What's good, man?
Yeah,
That's a PSAL champion. But listen,
They about to
guys,
head to
two
school
time.
soon.
Yeah.
exactly, man. So of course we're just gonna chop it up a bit. It's been a while since the three of us have been on. Like, of course we've been talking nonstop, but of course this is our medium here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But real quick before, let me try to be a better YouTuber. Make sure you like, share, comment. Let's try to get this to 100 live viewers. Let's try to get it
Yeah,
to
share
25
all of
like
that. Yup.
25
Yeah, let me
like
share this.
goal.
Let me share it in my story right now. The live link. Hold on. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna let some people file in a bit. So I'm just gonna let's just start with Jared, man. Just how have you been personally? I know you've been covering a whole lot of sports, but we're back with football. How are you feeling just coming into the season, man?
Yeah, no, listen, I'm pumped, man. I think this year, whether it's the PSAL, Catholic League, Long Island, I got, a lot to pay attention to, but here with New York City football, I'm just so excited, whether it's the 4A, 3A, 2A. There's just a lot of really good talent. The first year covering PSAL at Newsday was a success, and I think we're gonna have even more coverage of it this year. I think a lot of people are excited about it. So yeah, man, I'm fired up for it, dude. We're gonna do a lot of creative things, and it's gonna be good. And this year, especially, I could already sense some of these matchups are gonna be incredible. It's gonna be good.
Just how you been, man, and just what are your first initial outlooks on the upcoming season, man?
I've been blessed, bro. Y'all know I do a lot of work with the youth. So been very big youth football games going on around the city. Our future stars, these kids next in line. And it's funny I say that because some of these kids in high school now, I remember them when they were on 12U, 13U, and
That's
it's
where you
like,
are
Yeah.
in the TYJ journey, huh?
yeah, so it's like it's crazy to see some of these players' development, but I feel like it's going to be a very exciting year. Um, a lot of programs I can't wait to see. A lot of up and coming talent in our city. So yeah, man, we just here to put it all in the spotlight and show what we got out here in NYC. And I feel like it's a whole lot going on out here. So I'm excited for it.
Absolutely. Just shout out to some of the guys in the chat. My guy for Brute, GG Media. Yo, GG. I
GG in the
still need
cut,
Everything
my
man.
GG.
I still need
Yeah.
my hat, my guy. I
Well, I'm
still
not gonna
need my
lie.
hat.
I definitely need a bucket. Facts. Definitely need a bucket.
And Devin, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? Hopefully your team shows up. So let's again, we'll probably get started in about 5 minutes. You know, I want a few more people to tune in, you know, but I think just overall, you know, just to talk about the foray, of course, you have to congratulate again the defending champions, Erasmus Hall, you know, back on the mountaintop after getting knocked off very briefly, but they're back on top. So they're coming into another season as the defending champions. Um, you know, we could talk about top contenders, sleepers, and stuff like that, but I'll just throw it to Jared first. You know, how impressed were you with Erasmus Hall in that championship game? And, you know, how do you look at them upcoming into this season? And who do you think are some of the top contenders, man?
Yeah, no, E-Hall was, of course, really impressive. You know, they avenged that loss to Tottenville. It kind of felt like, you know, this could be the year for T-Ville, but E-Hall had a different idea in mind. And I think a lot of those seniors really stepped up when it mattered most. And that was super impressive. You know, like Kendu Brown, Justice Murray, Amir Morrow, who, you know, was battling through injuries that season. Like all of them, when it mattered most, came to play. But now it kind of feels like, you know, a lot of young guys are gonna have to step up for Erasmus Hall. It's definitely some new faces over there that we haven't seen yet, and I'm pumped to see what they do. But listen, we know it's still the nation, it's still E-Hall, and they are loaded. They are definitely a contender. Yeah, it's hard not to say that they're the favorite. I might have predicted that they'd lose a regular season game already, but
Really, Jared?
yeah,
I didn't see that anywhere.
yeah, but listen, to win a championship, of course, they're still the favorite. They've won, you know, countless titles over the years, and then other contenders, man. Well, you know, Eagle Academy. It feels like, you know, they. I mean, you look at their roster; they put all their eggs in this senior class's basket here with how many seniors they have, and they are loaded on paper. So that's going to be exciting. And Curtis has also made some moves as well, and they're always in the mix. And it's not like we're counting out Tottenville either. And, you know, of course, you know, Lincoln and JFK are going to be competitive as well. But we got to see a little bit more from them before we start talking about the top four.
Yeah, man. So what about you, E? Like when you just kind of think about this season, and I'm gonna throw it to you in a little different angle because I feel like it's a very pivotal year, meaning we lost a lot of 3 to 4 year starters in that 2026 class. You're talking about a Amir Morrow that we've been seeing since he was a sophomore freshman. You know, of course, Tyshawn Bent, you know, Justin McGuire, Kendu Brown, Kendall Brown, Deli. You know, we're losing a lot of like just staples. Like you turned on E-Hall, you knew you were going to see Kendu. You knew you were going to see Amir. Lord have mercy. You pull up to 100 Luton for the past 4 years. You've seen Tyshawn Bent
Running wild.
running wild, no
Running
matter who
wild.
is in front of him. So, talk about it from that angle and just in general, how your outlook on the season so early.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a lot of key guys who we've seen for multiple years have gone on to play college ball. You know, shout out to those guys. A lot of them on scholarship. So, you know, best of luck to those guys on their journeys, you know. But it's next man up in this game, you know, and in terms of the nation, which we were just discussing, E-Hall, I feel like Tommy Zay is ready for the moment. That's a guy who I feel like they have a lot of underrated weapons offensively, especially in their receiving core, E-Hall. Guys who I can't wait to see. Vic, Nair Jackson. They have Silas over there now. They have Mally returning, Malachi Ellis as well. They have about a good four guys who can make plays at E-Hall. So and there's a guy named Jordan Bishop who I think the city is they're gonna learn about
Congratulations on
this
the
guy.
offer recently.
Yes, absolutely. What was that, Stony Brook?
Stony Brook. I think he committed to Stony Brook, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, he committed.
Wow.
He committed, actually.
Congrats. I thought it was
Jordan
an O.
Bishop.
I thought it was an O. Now, you know, this is a guy who put up very big numbers upstate. and now he's going to be out here for his senior year. I still feel like it's a lot of exciting talent who we knew about already, who they're going to step into their senior year. You know, the Corey Browns, the Nick Constantinos, you know, a lot of exciting playmakers around the city. And in terms of who I feel are contenders, we all know Eagle. I seen someone say in the comment tone, I agree with that comment. He said Eagle BK chip or bust. I feel like they have all of the necessary pieces on both sides of the ball. They just have to complete the mission, you know. Now I know Erasmus and Coach Lamberg that they're not liking the sound of this, you know, but they Eagle has what it takes on paper, you know, but Erasmus Curtis and, you know, the Tottenvilles, and, you know, they're always gonna come and play competitive football, you know, but Eagle is definitely a program who they're gonna be exciting to watch. So they're my favorites this year. I'll say that now. Yeah, the Eagle Academy boys are my favorites this year. But like I said, you have to complete the mission. So yeah, you got to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, it's just such an exciting season because, you know, you have Lincoln, JFK, Eagle Academy, who I really feel like are really going to be vying for that semifinal spot. The semifinals, E Hall, Tottenville, and Curtis. I mean, they finished paying off the mortgage on their house when it comes to the semifinals. Like they live in the semifinals, you know. So Lincoln. You know, they just I'm gonna put that. But Lincoln.
That's a good point, GG. That's a good point by GG. I agree with that. I already thought of that point as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something I'm gonna touch on, GG. But yeah, you know, Lincoln. You know, they pretty much have paid off their mortgage when it comes to a semifinal spot as well. You know, there's a few teams really vying for that in a Eagle Academy, a JFK. And of course, who knows, you know, there could be other sleepers who rise up for that spot. So, you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, with Christian Borghi leaving, you know, that spot's vulnerable. But, you know, last time I checked, Coach O'Connor is still over there. You know what I'm saying? So you always know his teams are going to be ready to go. Now to get to GG's point, you know, when he's saying that, you know, it comes down to coaching, you know, this is something I'm so excited to see. You know, we have some big time matchups that we're about to get into. But it's really going to come down to fine margins. You know, what do you do on a 3rd and 9? You know, can you return a punt for 15 to 20 yards? Can your wide receivers block down the field to make a 20-yard run into a 50-yard touchdown?
Can you field the punch, Dre, and not let it bounce 25 extra yards? And now your offense is in terrible field position because you didn't field the punt and you let it roll and roll and roll. How many times we talk about this, Dre? That's like, oh,
that's
man.
I'm in such a good mood. Like, why did you bring that up? You know that is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Only because you mentioned punt return, so I thought about it. I'm like, bro, yeah, it's one of my pet peeves too, all the way.
Yeah, man, and I love what Pete says here, like hidden yards. And the way I really love to harp on these fine margins is because you might be thinking, oh, Dre, what are you talking about? There's another 13 yards or whatever, right? Another 13 yards, that's a whole nother set of downs, right? So that's 3 more possible plays that you have to run. 3 plays where a fumble can happen. 3 plays where an interception can happen. 3 plays where like anything can happen. Like you're playing a game of percentages, and especially when we're talking about some of these top tier matchups, it's a game of percentages. It's fine margins, and you know, Erasmus Hall has been the best at these fine margins. Danny has gotten his teams ready for these moments. You know,
average punt that isn't caught bounces 15 to 20 yards.
So 15 to 20 yards. Now we're talking a possible 6 more plays you have to run.
Absolutely. That matters, yeah.
Like
that matters, yeah. That matters.
So, you know, it's so exciting to see this. And also, I just want to give a shout out, you know, again, this is preseason. Don't say it's August 3rd, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited for the race for 7th, the race for 8th. Who's going to be there? Of course, there's the South Shore team. They had a lot of exits on the staff, but they're coming with a lot. Just to talk about Brooklyn Tech, they might have the best quarterback in the whole division.
Cole Scanlon.
You look at it, yeah.
That boy Cole Scanlon,
You even go to Fort Hamilton. They got a new quarterback coming in. They have Aiden Porter going back to wide receiver. They got Aiden Porter going back to wide receiver. So now one of the best athletes is back there. It's exciting stuff.
What's his name? Jared, the sophomore kid.
Yeah, I believe it's Josiah.
Yeah,
I think they call him JT. Someone of Ham's Fort Ham.
Yeah, JT, man. I was gonna say, you got to film him. Like he can really sling it.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Coach Prez, and he said, like, wait until you see our new quarterback, and we got Aiden going receiver, and Fort Hamilton's got some guys, and let's not forget, I mean, you got Puka anchoring the offense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's only getting better. Just ask all the Division I schools that have been offering him.
Yeah,
Fort Hamilton. Yeah, really, really excited to see what they got. And then, of course, you got the other usual suspects like Wagner, New Dorp trying to, make a run for that final spot. Port Richmond trying to make it back to the playoffs, again for a second year.
Yeah, so it's so much excitement, man. So listen, with no further ado, let's start getting into it. So we have to start with an announcement first. One more announcement. I think y'all will like this one, though. So again, we're bringing it back for the second year straight. The Sage Standout Student Section Scholarship. It went great the first year. Congratulations to Transit Tech High School. They got the big check. Hey, that check didn't bounce, all right? Check didn't bounce, all right? So I'm valid.
Yo.
I'm good for it, And, it was like just,
Come on, we gotta promote this a little more this year. Like, I want to see more energy from these schools. I know that this could be put in these hallways. A lot of these schools have cheerleaders. Come on, let's get some energy into this. I feel like, come on, we're gonna promote this better this year.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We're definitely gonna push it.
You know
again,
what I mean? Like
the check didn't bounce. You can ask Coach Warren. You know what I'm saying? So it's awesome that we're able to do it, and I'm really excited to bring it back.
Teachers, man.
Yeah. So yes, we will be bringing this back. It is your first. It is your first.
I'm trying to get that $1,000. I'm trying to get some drip. You know what I'm saying, Coach Matt?
GG, like, how much can that band buy from GG? How much GG merch can that buy, man?
The whole team gonna be dripped out. Whole team gonna be dripped out. What? And we getting new jerseys. And we getting an alternate jersey. Come on. Like, come on, man.
No, exactly. So really hyped to bring that back. So, all right, guys. Listen, it's already been 20 minutes. We got some people in the chat here. Let's start revealing the first game. And before I do that,
loud.
I'm gonna bring it back here, and
I
can finally say, I say this once a year. It is finally time to put the tights back in the drawer. I can't stand 7-on-7. It's finally time to put the tights in the back of the drawer. It's time for week 1 of the Sage Standout Game of the Week series. And funny enough, it's going to start in the same place it started last season, up at the castle. It's going to be Curtis versus South Shore.
I'm not going to lie. Before we start, the last time South Shore went to the castle, it was pain out there, to say the least. It got crazy out there.
Listen, so E, go ahead. How about you just start talking about this game a little bit? And no, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm not gonna lead the witness.
Yes, sir. So, now I feel like South Shore is a program where, I feel like they're taking strides in the right direction. I kind of want to see. The big question for them is, who will their QB1 be? From what I'm seeing, They have a kid named Charlie. He's going to be going to varsity, and he's definitely making strides in the offense. Now they have George Adams returning as well, who he definitely led the PSAL in some statistical categories, but I feel like they have another young quarterback who can definitely make an impact in the offense. So I'm kind of I can't wait to see how Coach Schulter's the decisions he makes with his quarterback play. Now they have they definitely have what's his last name? Shatik Williams. No,
Shalik,
what
it's Shalik Williams, the
Shalik
running back.
Williams. Shalik
Mhm.
Williams. My
Yeah.
bad, Shalik. My boy Shalik Williams. I feel like he definitely has to be a major piece of this Vikings offense if they want to have some success this year. He's a guy who he's seen touches last year, but he definitely has to have a big role this year for them offensively. Now Curtis, they have the St. Joe's transfer. I thought this guy was a linebacker. I'm not gonna lie to you. I see him at the Move the Chains 7-on-7 tournament. The kid is jacked. But he's dotting everything. He's dotting up. Curtis has a few key playmakers returning on offense as well. They got Quadir Gomez. He's ready to have, a big senior year. They got Akai. They got Toriano Lewis returning. If Curtis has some trenches, they're working with something for sure. The Warriors are working with something for sure. We always going to expect a certain brand of football from Curtis, from Coach Gamble and Curtis. We're always going to expect a certain brand of football. That's just the culture that Curtis has. You know what I mean? So you're always going to see a certain grit and a certain playing style from Curtis. So Curtis is actually one of the programs that I can't wait to see this year, But yeah, this is definitely going to be a goodie week one.
Jared, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm fired up, man. And I gotta say, listen, if you told me around this time last year, honestly, even during, like when the season started, that we're gonna have Carter from St. Joe's and Kyle
Carter.
Charles
Mhm.
from Tottenville,
Oh my God.
Wow.
teaming
I
up
forgot.
at
Yo,
Curtis.
bro.
I forgot.
Yo,
Oh
bro.
my
Yo,
God.
Dre, it's funny you say that. I
Crazy.
didn't even mention it because it sounds crazy.
Kyle Charles. So yeah,
Charles.
we'll talk about it now. I mean, Kyle Charles is a member of Curtis, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm really interested to see, he is, of course, Kyle Charles is one of the best defensive players that you'll see in the PSAL. What will he be looking like on offense potentially? Will Curtis use him that way? Will he be a two-way guy? So that's going to be very, very interesting to me. So I'm thrilled to see him week one on the Sage Media, standout game of the week. So that immediately catches my eye for sure. And same with Christian Carter, being the QB1 over there. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I mean, you said about Quadir Gomez. I mean, he is very fun to watch. I believe, 4-year varsity player at running back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive stuff, man. So yeah, pumped to see them, and I think this is a great test for South Shore, especially. I think both teams, like up front, I think will that matchup is going to be interesting.
Mhm.
I think it's going to say a lot about each team's lineman unit and how the battle of the trenches go, and how that tone gets set early on. So it should be good.
Yeah, man. I'm so excited for this game. I think it's such an opportunity for South Shore. Such an opportunity. Returning for the scene of the crime to the scene of the crime for the first time since that semifinal.
Yeah.
You gotta get some get back, for how that game went. Whoever the quarterback is, if it's George, if it's Charlie, like what a stage they get to showcase their talents. Shalik Williams, I really think I've been saying this since I saw him for the first time last year. I think it was against I think it was against South Shore. Yeah, I know he had a better game against Port Richmond, but also against South Shore. I really looked at him. I was like, yo, I really, really like how this kid looks. Really underrated player. And this is a junior class where, of course, it's led by Zaza, but I feel like there are some juniors that can really, get up that list. So super excited for the opportunities that South Shore have. And with Curtis, I mean, obviously the Kyle Charles transfer just shook the room, but it's not just that. we mentioned we know that Kai Lewis, first team all media, all city.
Oh,
we know Toriano Lewis, of course, he was also nominated. But they have a young man, and Gigi, if you're still in the chat, just remind me of his last name. But his name is Xavier, and I don't put too much into 7-on-7. But when I was seeing this young man play, I was like, whoa,
was that number 4 last year?
I don't think he played last year. I think he was in the building, but he didn't play. But his name is Xavier. And
I know Xavier.
Yeah, and honestly, there's and there's another Carter. I know the quarterback's name is Christian. Because don't remind me of his brother's name. He was looking pretty good too, catching balls all over the field. So, it's a huge opportunity for Curtis to showcase that we're also one of the top contenders. A lot of people talking about Erasmus Hall and Eagle Academy. Here comes Curtis. So it's gonna be really, really exciting to see these two teams play, man. So yeah.
Okay, Lau.
Don't sleep on the defense. I wonder which defense. South Shore or Curtis? Let us know. No, because he said don't sleep on this defense too. I wasn't sure because we were talking about Curtis.
He's talking about purple and gold. It's good for the soul, baby.
Purple and gold, good for the soul. Okay, baby. No, but this is why we have these games. This is why we have these games to highlight what's going on. But
I want to, South Shore. They definitely have, a linebacker. I feel like he has the potential to, blossom and show that he can be one of those guys. Christian Dennis. He was definitely getting burned last year for the Vikings, but he's going to be their leader defensively. They have a DB by the name of Abu Reed now. Abu Reed. Remember I'm saying this name? He's a transfer. He's definitely going to be a DB who puts himself on the map this year. Abu Reed. So that's why Lau was mentioning his defense over there at South Shore. They have some guys over there. So, that's good to know. And I can't wait to for them to showcase their talents, But they definitely have a few guys over there at South Shore.
Interesting, man. Yeah, they got to replace a couple of really good pieces in that secondary. So I'm pumped to see the guy you mentioned and what they got in the South Shore secondary because hey, they're going to be tested in this one with this Curtis passing attack.
Yes. Tested out the gate.
Definitely, man. I think Carr's going to be throwing it. You got a Kyle Lewis, probably Kyle Charles, I'd imagine, and those other weapons. So,
how did we forget Lincoln? How did we forget about that? We have to mention that. South Shore with the addition of Coach Brian Ellis to the staff. That is a very big addition right there. He's going to make that defense way better. Great coach and a great addition to the staff. I don't know how we forgot to mention that. Yup. Yes, sir.
It's a great shout from Eldra.
Yeah, man. So let's move on to the next game. So as we go from game to game, we will, take time to talk about the games, especially if it's the two teams, especially if it's their first time showing up on the list. Week 2, it was really hard to choose the game for week 2. There was a lot of contenders, but I figured we should go with the game that everyone is waiting for. I figured that would be a good way to go about the game of the week series, wouldn't you guys say? Listen, man, let me get to it, man. Come on. Week 2.
Oh my God.
Goosebumps.
Eagle Academy versus Erasmus Hall. I mean, is anyone in the tri-state not going to be locked into this game? Jared, how about you take this one first, man?
Yeah, this one, man, I think this is the game that, you could make an argument that, it could be the game of the year, for New York City football, Eagle Academy, E-Hall. You want to also talk about the amount of Division I talent on one field.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to put this. I'm going to keep this on the screen if this is official, because I know we have the wrong date on there. Apparently the game was moved. I'm just going to check if this is official on PSAL because I don't.
What day is the 25th?
It's a Friday. They're moving it to Friday Night Lights.
What time is that game?
7 o'clock. 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 7 o'clock
Let me see.
It better not be at 4 p.m., bro.
Yes. So
If the PSAL made this game at 4 p.m. on a Friday, like,
yeah.
bro.
So all right, LJ. So I'm gonna take this down because it's not official on the PSAL site.
Oh, Friday night is tough. That's tough. Okay. That's tough. Yeah,
All
6
right, so
p.m. is tough. Okay.
I'll leave it up here for now. So I'll take your word from it, but it is still people are saying it's official. Okay,
Yeah, you got players in here saying that too. So I guess they got the word. You got Sincere in here saying it's a Friday night. So yeah.
All right, no doubt. All right, excuse me. I just wanted to, Jared. I know I interrupted you. I just wanted to, get that on there first. So go ahead, man.
No, I completely get it. I thought it was going to be Sunday as well, but no, they're moving it Friday night under the lights. Yeah, I think the place is going to be packed, man. That type of energy over there, it's going to be incredible. Yeah, and the point that I was saying was the amount of Division I talent is the amount of Division I talent in that game is incredible. Like I think Eagle Academy right now already has 6 players with Division I offers. I could be wrong. It might actually be 7. So it's like already loaded. E-Hall, I know they're a little bit on the younger side this year, especially up front, but like they have guys like, Vic, I think he's committed to Harvard now, right? Like Jordan Bishop going to Stony Brook. I mean, I think the talent is incredible. And hey, it could be a preview of the PSAL for a championship game. Yeah, this one's going to be incredible, man. I'm thrilled, and yeah, I also think it might come down to let's see who's got the better QB as well. Who's going to show up in that one? Because I think that'll definitely say a lot.
Yeah, man. So I just want to. First of all, everyone, make sure you're respectful in the chat, even if you're joking. I don't know if you're joking or not. So you make sure you're respectful in the chat. But listen, guys, I'm gonna jump in if you don't mind. There are just so many matchups I'm looking forward to. But before we even talk about specific matchups, I think the most important thing about this game is how well the secondary tackles. We know that this Eagle front seven is out of this world. We know that Erasmus Hall front seven is always out of this world. It's always out of this world. You have Nazir Brown, again, another first team media all city player who is his defense now. He's the one, he's been a young buck for all these years. Another player we've been watching forever, right? He's been a young buck all these years, and now it's his defense. And again, 7-on-7, but I'm just seeing how he's speaking with his team, how he's commanding everything going on in the defense. It's really his time to step up, and he's more than ready for it. And also just a smile on his face. It's just nice to see him with a smile on his face, looking like he's really about to enjoy his senior year. So you already know that Erasmus Hall's front seven, but it's gonna be about how well can these two secondaries tackle, because there will be times where you'll get away from that front seven, and now what do you have, right? Eagle has a gaping hole in their secondary, losing Shiloh Burgess, right? Shiloh was one of the best second safeties in the entire league last year, especially when it came to coming down and tackling. He was the one that really allowed Carrot as a safety to kind of float around and do his thing. So how is that dynamic going to change now? Erasmus Hall, I feel like they are one of the most sure tackling teams and across all of New York City. So you can usually count on them, but we do have to see, how well can they tackle, because Zaza on that second level is a big issue. But Jordan Bishop on that second level, Jordan Bishop on the first level might be a problem, honestly. But especially on that second level, Jordan Bishop is going to be a problem. And that is, when I talk about these fine margins, okay, these players are too talented. They're going to get loose. Are they going to get loose for 12? Or are they going to get loose for 60? And the whole crib is turned upside down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that is the biggest thing in this game, the tackling of the secondary. And also
tackles got to be made. Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, I'm just so excited to see who really rises to the occasion. A player that we haven't mentioned yet that E-Hall has to replace, arguably the player of the year last year, is Justice Murray. We saw what he did going back to that Tottenville game on the road. Team scores a touchdown. Everyone's thinking, wow, E-Hall, it's over, da-da-da. What does he do? Take a kick back for 90 yards. Shakes the whole room. Who has that ability to step up in a game like this? Now we're talking about it's under the lights. It's different motion, motion we dealing with here.
Packed under the lights? Packed under the lights, the whole city outside? Yeah, that's a different vibe right there. That's what we need, though. We need a battle of the floors vibe for this game, and I feel like that's what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
everybody outside,
and also the quarterbacks. Is Eagles still doing this 2 quarterback thing? Like, it's gonna be what Eagles gonna play 4 games at that point. I think they'll have 4 games under their finish at that point. So it's
Coach Reggie said no, he's not doing that. He said that on on one of the episodes on LJ's documentary. He said he's not doing
we'll
QB system. He made that clear.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's what the OC said. Is no better person. No one else makes that decision in most situations other than the OC. So
yeah. So now, which quarterback? Which set of quarterbacks? Which quarterback is going to perform better under this kind of pressure? Both teams could technically have new quarterbacks.
That's a great point.
So yeah, E, go ahead. I took some time there.
Nah, you good. I feel like you guys, nailed most of the points, honestly. But your last point, Andre, I feel like that's the most important thing for me. Which quarterback is gonna rise to the occasion for either side? You know what I mean? Both of these guys, for both sides, they're gonna be. Well, Caratelli used to be a starter. He hasn't played ball in the whole year. You know what I mean? It's like, which quarterback is going to rise to the occasion? Martin Koppelman, Anthony Caratelli, or is it Tommy Zay? You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot going on out there. Packed crowd, a lot of energy, everyone fired up. This is one of those games where, both sides are looking forward to this matchup. Energy on 100. It's like, what quarterback is going to perform the best under pressure? I really don't see. Let me not say this statement. Which quarterback is going to perform the best under pressure? Yeah.
Before we say, that's good.
I had to catch myself with this.
Yo, he said.
I was about to
let
say
me put it back in the holster. Let me put it in the holster.
The one other thing that I just want to bring up real quick.
Definitely a chip preview. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was gonna say before if we decide to move on or not, because someone put it in the chat. How you guys feeling about Eagles' new running back?
Yeah, I was gonna throw that over to you, Jared.
Yeah, and I just wanted to touch on that before we move on. But yeah, Dominic Prestano out of North Babylon. He is a traditional ground and pound power back, move the chains kind of guy. He was great last year for North Bab, and he did it against some pretty good defenses. But I think this season we'll really get to see was, I like Prestano's game, but as someone who's, covered Long Island, played well against East Islip. East Islip is great. They are not Erasmus Hall though. So and that's no disrespect to EI. All love to EI and Suffolk Division II football. But yeah, this Erasmus defense, they are very good against the run always, Just ask every running back they went against last year. So it's going to be very interesting to see kind of how he does against E-Hall. But yeah, Prestano is a great player, a major addition. You look at all the transfers throughout the PSAL, he might be the most productive one stat-wise. I mean, he had a phenomenal junior season. So this is, definitely a big addition for Eagle, and it'll be fun watching him play against Nasir Brown and this E-Hall front seven.
So real quick, I just want to talk about this one real quick. How do I do this?
Eagle got a new DT from Tennessee.
Everybody, calmate. Slow down. It's August 3rd. Guys, trust me, I've been here before. Trust. Slow down. Them boys at the castle, they might have something to say. The boys at 100 Luton, they might have something to say. Them boys at Lincoln, they might have something to say. Them boys at JFK, they might have something to say. So slow, calmate.
Right. That's real life though. That's really that's the truth.
But it's an incredible game to look forward to, and I see his name flashing in the chat. Shout out to Sincere Hester and of course Chase Hyacinth. I'm saying this off the top of my head, but Sincere committed to Temple, and Chase Hyacinth's committed to UDEL. Yes, pretty sure. So huge shout out to them. And one thing that's going to be so important with them is, and this goes for Victor again. Victor Anakagu, Harvard commit, Jordan Bishop, all these guys. Let me tell you this now. That paper not going to save you on September 25th. You can't hold that paper up when that guard is pulling. Yo, I got to order here.
Get real,
that paper talk is not going to save you. Your Instagram post is time for pads, and with those two players, how is Coach Chad, how does he decide to use them? Are they going to be, just on the ends crashing? You have one being a monster play side, the other coming from the backside. Do you move them around? Another player that I'm really excited to see is Daryl Gatewood. He was he really impressed me last year in the middle of that defense. And they have a big hole in that front four, and that's being left by Matthew Taylor. Matthew Taylor, he was number 52 for Eagle Academy last year. He was someone since the sophomore year has been living in the backfield, just an absolute terror. If you don't recognize the name Matthew Taylor, I mean, he's already graduated. Sorry you missed him play, but he was tremendous. So, Eagle Academy, even though with all the big name players they have, it's going to, they have some holes to fill as well. Can they do it in the secondary and on that defensive line, like I just said? And, I'm going to throw this to E. They also have some additions in the linebacking core. Of course, Beatty Joof. Mm-hmm. It's Joof, by the way. Beatty, my guy. I finally got it right. You have Beatty. Chuck is a new addition. Just talk about this linebacking core. And
I feel like Eagle defensively, they definitely have some guys as well. Like you said, Beatty, another guy whose stock will continue to go up. Shout out to Beatty, picking up a few O's already. Central Connecticut, Wagner, to name a few. They got Kayvon Robinson, another guy who I feel like, I'm not going to say people are kind of like, he kind of like fades off a little bit because they have some other guys, some other studs defensively, but KV is another guy ready to have a big year for them defensively as well. Then, like you said, they got Chuck, who was making plays for Curtis, and now he's over there at Eagle. And I'm seeing people in the comments saying they got some DBs as well. I know they got DeAnthony, the transfer from South Shore.
Wow.
Now, this is a guy who he's shown flashes where he can be a shutdown corner. I know they have another corner. I'm not sure where the kid came from. If somebody wants to comment the other transfer DB that Eagle has, but I know that Eagle definitely has.
Is it Jaden? Maybe that's his name?
It might be. But it's not a guy I'm familiar with, but he's supposedly a very solid DB as well. And I know a lot of people were looking at their secondary like, Shiloh, Jaden Mosley. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. A lot of people were looking at Eagle thinking that maybe their secondary might be their weakness, and I'm not sure if that's the case. I'm not sure if that's the case. If they got a few good corners, then you got CT, you got Josiah Brown back there just floating around making plays for you. That sounds like a good secondary to me. So, I'm just excited to see this Eagle group, offensively, defensively, and like we already mentioned, when it comes to E-Hall, I know Coach Mouse is taking over the defense now.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Coach Mouse is the DC now. E-Hall is always going to play a certain brand of football. very similar to Curtis. It's a culture thing. When you implement a certain type of culture, you're always gonna play a certain style of football. So that's what the Dutchmen are gonna bring. The Nazir Brown, another guy who's gonna step up, Chase Sinclair. That's a guy who I expect to have a big year for the E-Hall linebacking core as well. When it comes to their secondary, you got a guy like Logan who's been playing since his freshman year. This is the year where I expect to see a bigger jump in his game. They got a DB named Mason who I think he's definitely going to get some rotational reps in that secondary. He's going to get his chance to play. So he's going to have to step up against some of these bigger schools like Eagle, a DB like Mason who he was at South Shore. No, he was at Eagle last year actually. But he's going to be a DB that has to step up against the bigger schools. So yeah, this is the game like we already said. No one wants to miss it, and it's must-see TV. So can't wait.
Yeah, man.
Bryce at E-Hall, what position he plays? Who's Bryce?
Yeah, give us a last name, please.
Yeah.
So I think it's only right. I'm not gonna big screen him.
Bryce what?
I'm not gonna big screen him, but Mr. Valluzzi, I'm gonna let you close it out because you made your predictions on this game. I ain't gonna hold you to it because I'm a generous man. The chat might not be as generous, but Jared, you could talk about it and just your general closing thoughts, why you went that way, why you're neutral now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, listen. So, and let's not mistake this. I did not predict the championship. Let's make sure people understand that. But this week 2 game, went on a podcast and I said a bold prediction in September is I went with Eagle 2, and if I'm not mistaken, I mean if Eagle pulls this off, I'd have to say it's their biggest regular season win in program history if
Correct.
they pull this off. So, and I was looking at it, and part of me, when I was thinking of making the decision, I was like, what one player, especially in this first meeting, could step up and potentially take over, kind of be like Justice Murray was in that championship a little bit. And I thought about it, and I think Zaire Schulters has that type of ability, and in that prediction I said, I was like, I think Zaire leads them to an incredible win, over E-Hall in the regular season. So yeah, I went Eagle. I'll stick with that here for week 2. And we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But yeah, after hearing what Erasmus has on defense, coming in and stuff like that, it's
we're not sleeping Nazir, not at all, man.
Underestimate. No, you guys are like,
come on now.
Shout out to Nazir, man, first team media all city player.
We know what you guys have. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, Erasmus has won almost, every championship since 2019, right? Besides that 1 year.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say on it is, for Eagle Cat, like I'm gonna actually say it from.
I got one question before we I got one question before we end though. Before we end though. No, after you go, Andre. My bad.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that this is another game for Erasmus Hall. It's another game. There's been Canarsie. There's Tottenville. There's This is another game for Erasmus Hall. They've been here before in these big kind of matchups. Can Eagle get to that level of mental state, that mentality that this is just another game? It might be a little tough for them to do that because let's be real, it's just not another game for Eagle Academy. But how many of these caliber of games has Nazir Brown been in? How many times has he led his team? Excuse me. How many times has he been, one of the soldiers with those other seniors leading the way with him? He's been battle tested at Tottenville. He's been at the castle, all these kind of things, So I know a Chase Hyacinth, a Sincere Hester, they definitely have been to the castle. They have been to these places, but it is going to be a little different for Eagle as a program. So it's so exciting to see. Okay, do you fly right away out the nest? No pun intended, or is it a crash landing? Who knows? So what are you gonna say, E?
You know, I don't want to be that guy, but it's week 2, right? So regardless of the outcome, there's still a lot of football left to be played.
Don't get too high, don't get too low.
How there you go. How impactful or how now I know this is a big game. I know this is a big game in week 2, but from a coach's perspective, let's say if the outcome isn't in your favor, do you have that mindset? Do you say, guys, it's week 2? You know what I mean? It's early in the year. We're gonna see these guys when it matters most. Unless this game is belt, that's totally different. That's totally different. Now, if this game is belt, I don't want to hear nothing. It's like, nah, bro, that was crazy. But how big is this game in week 2? Do you get too high if you come out victorious? You know what I'm trying to say? It's week 2 at the end of the day.
Yeah, we will move on for this. Sorry for taking a little bit of time. I mean, it is quite the big game. One thing I just want to address real quick, asking about Madison. So yes, this will, just like the other 2 years, this will only be 4A. The 3A and the 2A games, I promise you, we will flex them. There might be a game on a Sunday in Brooklyn that we might cover. But we like to leave some excitement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like to reveal everything at once. So 3A guys, you guys are really the soul of what goes on here. And I want to actually I'm gonna even take these guys off the screen real quick, because I do want to give a huge shout out to the 3A, to 2A, and 1A. And this is what I always say, and I hope that you 4A guys, you respect them and you watch them when they're the game of the week. Because what I always say is, you might say, oh, the 3A, the 2A, it's not top quality football. The 3A, they watch you guys. We don't get the numbers that the 4A games get if the 3A guys aren't watching. So it'd be great for you guys to return them the favor and show them some respect, man. For real. And yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna leave it at that when it comes to this game. Beatty, shout out to you, my guy. Just like Pete says here, like, support them.
Baby.
Support each other, man. It's really, really important. But yeah, it's really exciting stuff for this game. Eagle Academy versus Erasmus Hall. I am not going to give this game a nickname. It is not the battle of anything. It is Eagle Academy versus Erasmus Hall.
That's
all
fair.
right, guys. Week 3. This is gonna be a game that we haven't seen this fixture, or this team being the home team and this team being the away team, in a very, very long time, according to some coaches in the Bronx. And that is JFK hosting Lincoln. Coach Vega told me this game hasn't happened, I want to say 10 plus years, Lincoln traveling to JFK. This is a rematch of that absolutely insane quarterfinal matchup last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jared, how about you talk about this one first, man?
Yeah, I mean, this one has me beyond fired up, and when the schedules dropped, one of the first things I noticed was, wow, JFK is hosting Lincoln, and it's gonna be a thriller. And I think for these Kennedy guys, they return a lot of talent. And when you watch that game, I mean, the taste that has to be in Kennedy's mouth after that game, they're probably just so excited to get another shot at Lincoln. I mean, JFK, they were up going into the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
36-30, I'm pretty confident. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, their offense was firing on all cylinders, and then Lincoln just got them. And for Kennedy, I mean, that would have been huge to make it to the 4A semifinals, especially after the slow start they had last year. So, yeah, I think this one's personal to a lot of JFK players. And, and JFK is also going to be fun to watch. Jeremiah Sanat has, a lot of high expectations around him. He's one of my favorite players that I will be watching this season. He could really sling it. Kennedy's got a lot of talent, but then, of course, at Lincoln, they have some new faces looking to make some noise. And yeah, Mekhi Negron definitely made a name for himself last season. Same with I apologize mispronounce his name, but Amir Ivory for Lincoln.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, a lot of great players. This one's personal for Kennedy. I also think for Lincoln too, just because after they battled twice last season. Yeah, this is great. I think a lot of football fans, you want to watch a good game. This one's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I think that this might be this is definitely going to be a very competitive game. I honestly feel like it could go either way. In terms of the rail splitters, as we all know, the projected number one quarterback that we had on a lot of lists in the PSAL, Christian Borhe, he transferred out. So they have a former Sharks quarterback. He's taken over now. Mike Measler, former champ, I should say, former 3A champ. He'll be QB1 over at Lincoln now. So I know he's very excited for the opportunity. He gets the opportunity to show that he could take over and flourish in the 4A. I'm assuming the kid feels like he's good enough to play 4A football, and he's betting on himself. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So it's like, let's see if he rises to the opportunity for Lincoln this year, Like we said, Mekhi, that's a guy who showed, Mekhi Negron, he showed he can make plays, very explosive playmaker. I'm excited to see if his role increases this year. But a guy who Rowley transferred over there. His name is long. I'm sorry. His last name is 35 letters. I don't know his last name, but his name is Rowley. I expect him to be Lincoln's best playmaker on offense, best receiver on offense. But they also have the Rail Splitters also have Solomon Dakotu's brother. His name. What's Solomon Dakotu's brother's name?
Samari.
Samari Dakotu.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's only 7-on-7, but I remember, Dre, don't get mad at me. I know it's only 7-on-7, but I remember in the Be Great 7-on-7, this guy was like, he was just having his way. And I'm like, yo, who is this over here? Oh, that's Solomon's brother. Oh, yeah, it makes sense now. Okay. But yeah, I feel like he's definitely going to be a big playmaker for the Rail Splitters as well. And in terms of Kennedy, man, Kennedy might be the school that I'm most excited to see this year. For the simple fact that I feel like offensively they're gonna open that playbook up, and I just can't wait to see that offense if they actually decide to throw the ball more. And
they will, trust me.
yeah, so if that offense really decides to throw the ball more, I feel like Kennedy could be a problem. Up front, they're always going to be sound. They're always going to have trenches. But if they could implement the pass in their offense, and I feel like Jeremiah Sanaa is ready, just like Jared mentioned. So it's a lot of hype and a lot of excitement around the Kennedy Knights, And then it's funny you mentioned that, Tone, because I see the players on social media saying they're like joking about the wing T when they posted highlights of them making plays, catching passes and stuff. They're joking about the wing T. So the Kennedy players know, they hear people talking. So it's like I feel like they're excited to show, like, bro, we could do more than just run little jet sweeps all day. You know what I mean? So yeah. I feel like the players want to show, like, yo, we could make plays. We could blur stuff too. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, that's very exciting to see. Kennedy is definitely, like I said, a school I can't wait to see. But I want to mention one kid on Kennedy, right? His name is Nathaniel Platelis. I think I'm saying this kid's name wrong. Nathaniel Platelis. Now, he's going to be like a slot shifty type of guy.
Okay.
But I feel like this kid is definitely going to put himself on the map this year. Nathaniel Platelis is his name. So a lot of excitement around Kennedy, man.
I want a couple more. Sorry to cut you off. Just a few other kids, just because JFK, they win games.
Real quick, Jared, before you say it, I was gonna throw the player that you're about to say to you because I know he's one of your favorites. I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
What, three? I was gonna mention three JFK lineman.
Oh, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you didn't think I was gonna go lineman?
I didn't think you were gonna go lineman. You're forgetting one. I'll remind you.
Oh
Keep
no,
going.
you're talking about the guy who runs behind them?
Number 4.
Oh man,
Amadou Samake. I know that's what
high
he.
on Amadou
Yeah,
Samake.
Amadou Samake is good, man.
No, so give the O-line some
Absolutely
love,
was
though.
gonna mention him after. So Dre, you're still right. But yeah, so he is gonna run behind a couple great linemen, and 2 of them, at least on offense, Jeremy Concepcion and Edwin Areola. 2 guys, both incredible. I think they're both going to be 3-year starters when it's all said and done after I talk with Coach Vega, which is incredible. And then Jeremy is also great on defense, and he's teaming up with Calvin Stewart, who's a transfer from DeWitt Clinton. So he's another big defensive lineman. He was good for Clinton. He was young last year as a sophomore, but he made some plays. So yeah, now you get that and Kennedy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them up front, and definitely looking forward to seeing Amadou Samake and what he does again in his senior year.
Yeah, Amadou Samake. We're really talking about a player who's knocking on the door to get a nomination for our media award. Big year last year. He has some. I can't even say big shoes to fill because he played a different role than Derek Betances did. But he's going to be the premier runner for this JFK team. But to me, there's one question with JFK. One question. Can you play defense?
Nah, for real.
That's it. Can you play defense? That is really what it comes down to when it comes to this JFK team because, Vega, he said it himself, they scored. Very few people stop them, but they ain't stopped nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's not coming from me. That's coming from Vega. So,
if they would have made a few more stops last year, that would have, obviously equated to more wins.
A few more stops?
Yeah.
A few more stops? Cottonville was a few more stops away from winning championship. JFK needed to make a lot of stops last year.
Yeah.
They let up a lot of points last year.
Yeah.
Also, the other kid on Lincoln, I believe Xavier Lane, by the way.
What number did he play last year? Xavier Lane
was on defense, I believe. But yeah, I think he's just going to be one of those guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I got the wrong guy, but I'm almost positive he's going to be like one of those starting linebackers because Lincoln, you got to replace some great.
I was just about to say.
You got to listen.
Ronaldinho Jones.
Replacing Ron Jones is really difficult. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough, but I'm excited to see what Lincoln's got, man. They always got some great players. Yeah, so I think someone in the chat is agreeing with me right now about Xavier Lane and from
Xavier Lane. Okay, I have to.
Yeah,
where he came from?
Yeah, so somebody give us some insight on Xavier Lane.
Yeah, like where did he come from? He's a transfer.
No, I'm not sure. More of an outside linebacker.
I gotta do my research on him. I think more outside linebacker. Xavier Lane. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Damian, that is a good suggestion. We'll see if I can make that work. He plays inside.
Inside backer. Where did he come from?
Yeah, I think he only played 5 games last year. Like I think he might have been a little banged up.
Okay.
And he was a junior. He was kind of banged up. I think it was that type of situation. And now, Lincoln's gonna need some guys at linebacker. So
yeah, Omar, let me know which Eli you're talking about. If you're talking about Eli Morales for JFK, or if it's another Eli. The only Eli that's coming to mind is Eli Morales. He was a freshman last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think he played secondary. But yeah, it's gonna be all about JFK. Can you play defense? And for Lincoln, Lincoln has a lot of question marks, so we can't really. It's going to be hard for me personally to really talk on Lincoln this early in the season. We have to see how Mikey gets on. So yeah, we'll see. So big matchup here: JFK versus Lincoln. Another big matchup in week 4. But first, definitely listen to what Tone says here. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We peaked at almost 70 today. We're just about to get to halfway through this game of the week schedule. So definitely make sure you guys hit the like button, share, and just a huge thank you for everyone. It's the middle of August, and you guys are still supporting, and shout out to the VOD watchers. Everybody salute the VOD watchers, because one thing I always say to everyone, yeah, there's 62 people in here right now, but somehow the entire city hears what we say.
Yeah.
somehow the numbers don't reflect how many people actually hear what we say. So shout out to everyone in the support and everything like that. So week 4 is going to be a new team to talk about. Our first repeat team, the Goody. Another Goody. I mean, how good can we get? We're talking championship rematch.
Yeah.
Run it back at 100 Luton. Rasmus Hall returning to the scene of the crime. The infamous knee on 4th down. We can laugh about it now. They won the chip, right? We can laugh about it now.
I couldn't believe it.
Me and Jared in the booth next to each other. Jared was not working Newsday. He was doing his job. He was working for Newsday. But yeah, I mean, the infamous knee on 4th down. I mean, what an absolute classic game this was between Tottenville and E-Hall. And I feel like it was in October last year too. Actually, I have my screen.
Yeah, again,
I could have sworn.
No, by the way.
Yo, why is that? Why is it always at 100 Luton?
Why do they want to make me drive so far?
Yeah, no, actually, it was in the end of September last year. But regardless, Tottenville E-Hall championship rematch, and I want to focus on Tottenville a bit. We spoke about E-Hall quite a bit. Nappy, shout out to Nappy, my guy. Nice to see you, my guy. How many times have they played in Staten Island? Let me think. So since I've been doing Sage Media, is this the 3rd E-Hall Tottenville game I've done there? It is the 3rd, isn't it? Yeah, this is the 3rd one. Because the first one was, remember when oh my gosh, sorry, his name is slipping my mind. The E-Hall linebacker that's
Carlo
Machota. He forced the fumble at the end of the game last year. Was there another game? I feel like I was there for another game too. But I think this is the 3rd time. So yeah, I've been doing Sage. Yeah. So every time I've done a Sage Standout Game of the Week, this matchup has been here at this venue. So you guys have a good point. But let's just talk about Tottenville, and we have to start there. I mean, it's definitely, you have to say, it had to have been heartbreaking, falling short in that championship game. I know a lot of people disagree with me, and I feel okay standing on this. I did think it was a slight edge, but I did think Tottenville had the better roster last year. Being led by Justin McGuire, Tyshawn Bent, that defense, Jaden Innocent, Nick Acosta, Nick Constantino at wide receiver, Corey Brown in the backfield. It had to have been very, very disappointing to fall short. I think a lot of people said this is the year for Tottenville. That's the side of sports that's really sad. As a media person, I got on the field. I saw the E-Hall guys, dapped them up, hugged them. They trolled me. It was fun. And then I went to the other side of the field, to see Justin, to see Tyshawn, and that's the duality of sports, right? But another beauty of sports is you get to go again, and arguably Tottenville might have the best player in the league in Corey Brown. He's been behind Tyshawn Bent. It's his 4th year. And let's see what he has going. We know Corey Brown has had multiple 10 double-digit touchdown campaigns in this league, if I'm not mistaken. I know 2 years ago he had 11, I'm pretty sure. I don't exactly remember what he fell on last year. Maybe it was 9. I'm not exactly sure. But he probably had a receiving touchdown to throw in there. So it's definitely the Corey Brown show. Of course, they had a big transfer in Kyle Charles. Definitely a shock to the system. But this is Coach Neville we're talking about. This is 100 Luton we're talking about, you know? So I'm really, really looking forward to this game, the storylines, and I think Tottenville has a lot to show us. E, what do you think, man?
I agree. You know, this is like you just mentioned. I feel like this is the first time in a while where, you know, going into the season, I have like some question marks with Tottenville. You know, kind of to say it that way. It's you know, I know they have a few key returners, you know, that we know about, especially offensively. They have a few guys who can make plays coming back. You know, they got Corey Brown, like you mentioned, the mouth commit.
Monmouth,
Shout out,
yes.
yeah, shout out to him. You know, Constantino and Gavin, they're gonna be leading the receiving core. But I have no idea who their quarterback is gonna be. It's just a few key question marks that I can't wait to see what they're bringing to the table in terms of Tottenville. You know, you always expect a certain brand of football from the Pirates, though. You know, so I expect them to be consistent, and I expect them to definitely put a competitive product out there. It's just a matter of who's gonna fill Justin McGuire's shoes.
Yeah.
That's really one of the most you know, one of the biggest question marks I have with Tottenville, you know. So that's what I want to see in terms of the Pirates. Who's your quarterback gonna be?
Jared?
Well, before
Yeah, no,
Jared, sorry, Jared,
Yeah.
go
my
on.
bad, Jared. I
Nah,
do
all
want
good.
to say I seen Tottenville's JV last year, and the
Ooh.
quarterback looked just like Justin McGuire.
Wow. He
I'm not
moved
even
like
kidding.
everything?
In terms of the playing style
Yeah. Okay.
and everything, I don't know this kid's name, but very similar playing style to Justin McGuire, the kid who they had on JV last year. So, you know, I don't know if that guy's being moved up to varsity, but I definitely seen some potential in their JV quarterback last year.
So real quick before Jared goes, shout out to my guy Vic. Always
So
great
Vic,
seeing you, my
shout
Yeah.
out to
guy.
Vic,
We
man.
spoke about pretty in detail the Eagle Erasmus Hall matchup in week 2. And real quick to Omar, just to answer you. So how we do it is that yes, this game of the week series will be only the 4A. But everyone in the chat, everyone in New York City, they are my insurance. They're my alibi, I should say. We add games. We always add at least a 3A game. And last year we did a 2A game in Eagle Queens and Transit, where Transit actually won the $1,000. I should remind you guys of this Sage Standout game
Shout
of the
out to
week.
Transit.
Yeah, so a 2A team won it. So, you know, we definitely show love to the lower divisions for sure. And again, I gave you guys a huge shout out because you guys are really, really important to the ecosystem of New York City. So shout out to you guys. Never disrespect y'all.
Absolutely.
Jared.
Facts.
Yeah, no. So this one obviously huge. I mean, Tomville E-Hole, I'm pumped for it last year. I mean, you know, 2 instant classics that I got to be at both of those, so it was super fun. But yeah, what E said about Tottenville is huge. We got to see their quarterback situation. You know, it's last year they were able to, you know, pass really well, and it helped them score a ton of points against everybody. So I think that's huge. And 2 guys that I'm interested in, you know, especially if they have a quarterback who's able to throw the ball well, is Gavin Ledwith and Vincent Geller. You
Oh,
know,
Oh
and
Vincent.
I
I
my
thought
know
Vincent
God.
graduated. He's coming
Yo,
back. I didn't realize that.
for
Vin-
real?
Vincent is back, man. As long as he didn't
Oh,
transfer, he was a junior last year. As long as he didn't
I
transfer.
forgot about him.
Oh, I thought he
So he was
graduated.
sneaky. Just ask Eagle. Ask Eagle Academy how sneaky he was.
Yeah, that was a nice toe tap you had, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
consistent hands. Yeah, consistent hands.
exactly. He's gonna be a senior. So like, you know, you have him, Gavin Ledwith, he performed great against E-Hole. And then Nick Constantino is one of the best wide receivers in the PSAL period. So it's like you have that trio coming back where it's like, all right, if you have a quarterback who can throw and you know be able to hit these guys, that's one of the best wide receiver trios, like at least potential wise, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
that could, you know, if they're able to put it together. So that's going to be interesting to me if you know that's able to be a factor against E-Hole because I've seen teams be able to have success against them passing. Running, it was very hard last year. I know they lose some of those linebackers, but we'll see. You can't I don't think the recipe for Tottenville in that game is go to Corey Brown 35 times. I don't think that's
that
I don't love that.
yeah.
So I think we'll see how their passing game is. I think it's going to be huge. And listen, the energy and the environment there. It was one of my favorite Friday night games last season. The energy was through the roof, so I'm fired up for it again.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say too is just to touch on the Erasmus Hall side. We spoke about them quite a bit, so we won't stay here. But it's kind of a homecoming for Tommy Zay. I don't know. I guess someone can let me know what part of. Don't give the boy address, but what part of Staten Island he's from.
Oh yeah, he's from He's from Staten Island.
Yeah. I don't know if Tottenville is on the well, I know Tottenville's on the South Shore of Staten Island. So let me know where he's from. If how big of a homecoming it is for Tommy Zay. So he's from Tottenville. Are you serious?
No way. Nah, Vic has to
You know
be
what? He
trolling
might
on
not.
that.
I saw him training with oh my God, what's homeboy name? I cannot believe it. I'm blanking on this right now.
Kenny Munson.
With Kenny. I saw him training with Kenny. So yeah, I think that does check out.
Yo, so that's a real homecoming. Wow, that's great.
That's good for him, man. That's good for him.
Yeah, and
your whole family, all your people's in attendance, man.
Yeah, we didn't speak much on Tommy, but he looks like someone that's just really going to be able to run that offense well, and with those kind of weapons, you just got to get him the ball.
Yeah.
You got Vic who can. The thing that makes E-Hall so dangerous, like I feel like there are certain wide receivers. Certain teams have like profiles. I feel like all of E-Hall's receivers can do everything. Like they can all stretch the field. They can all catch it intermediate. They can all catch screens and take it for 10 to 50 yards. So it is a really, really dangerous receiving core. And remind me the name of the South Shore transfer to E-Hall.
Silas,
yes. Silas.
Oh.
Again, 7. But Silas was looking really, really nice running those intermediate routes. He's going to be really, really important. And also Jordan Bishop, he's going to be a factor in the passing game as well.
Don't forget my boy, Rich Dobbin. Don't forget my guy who took advantage of his opportunities, and he's gonna be the nice 1-2 punch for the Dutchman this year, man. I'm hearing that he earned his reps, he earned his touches, so we can't forget about a guy like Rich Dobbin, man, who he's gonna get his opportunity, and I think he's gonna be productive once again this year.
Yeah, no, super exciting matchup. Tottenville versus Erasmus Hall. We're going to move on to week 5. Another very, very exciting matchup, especially now that, we're going to be 4 games into the season. Let's see where these two teams are. And that's JFK versus Curtis. Now, we did see this matchup last year. If I'm not mistaken, it was 20. I want to say it was 20-6. Let's see how fast I can click and find the actual answer. This game was... Oh, it was 26-12. Curtis winning last year.
That's not even... That's...
So 26-12. And it was close. I mean, we're talking the score was 7-6 at the end of the first quarter. It was 13-6. Yeah, it was 13-6. Then it went to 20-6. And then it finished 26-12. So JFK was definitely hanging around there. And, of course, with Jeremiah Sinat, the most veteran quarterback in the entire league, it was really exciting. So, Jared, how about you talk about this one a bit, man?
Yeah, this is gonna be really good. I think, October 23rd is this one. Yeah, another one under the lights. if Kennedy's got some amazing opportunities this season, to potentially knock off, some of these traditional powers, which is going to be, a lot of fun at this point of the season too. In week 5, we really know where these teams are at, and it's going to be fun, man. I'm really intrigued, honestly.
Actually, I'm gonna ask E this question. So let's look at this from the Kennedy point of view, right?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna read off their game. Ooh, Kennedy could be in a very interesting position at this point of the year. So they start the year with Erasmus Hall, right? Of course, they're definitely going to be underdogs, right, in that game, and they don't match up well. But again, who knows what this Kennedy outfit's going to look like? Kennedy actually have 4 straight home games, 4 straight home games after that, and it is Brooklyn Tech, which you would imagine they would be favored in. The other game of the week in Lincoln, and Fort Hamilton. So E Hall, Brooklyn Tech, Lincoln, Fort Hamilton. So this could be a very crucial point at this season. So how about you take it from that angle?
Yeah, I feel like up to that point, I mean, obviously in a perfect world, the only L that Kennedy is hoping for is week 1, maybe. Sorry, Kennedy. Sorry.
Hold on,
sorry to
Jared.
say it like that, Kennedy.
Have you ever seen E like that? He said,
"Sorry," because I don't want them to be like, sorry. You open the gate against E Hall. That's I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that as a coach. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just being honest, man. That's not who I want to open up against. But like we all mentioned, definitely excited about Kennedy this year, and I feel like they have the potential to go on the run. Now the games against Lincoln and the games against obviously the Warriors, those are games that I feel like they can pull off. I feel like those can be winnable games this year for Kennedy, and I just feel like that's good for the sport as a whole and for the city as a whole. When you can say that, hey, Kennedy can potentially pull off a win against Curtis, that's great for the city. That's what we want. Or if this is a game that comes down to, let's say, the final possession, or it's a dogfight, that's what we want. That's what we want. There you go, Gigi. We need some upsets. We need some dog fights. So if this is a 14-12 victory, it's like, yo, that's what we need to see. Now, at this point in the season, at week 5, we're thinking of the postseason now. Like, yo, the playoffs are gonna be very interesting. So let's think of it from this perspective, right? If Lincoln and Kennedy is a dog fight, let's say, right, and if Curtis and Lincoln is a dog fight, what does that say? Like if those games, if both of those matchups, let's say, come down to this is random, let's say a point or 2, that's a great sign in my opinion. You know what I mean? And I feel like that can definitely happen where these 2 matchups can go either way and they can be very competitive games. And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, Jared.
I don't have a clear-cut favorite when I view these games, and I'm being honest. When I view some of these matchups.
Before I bring Jared in, I'm just gonna laugh. Obviously, Tone is joking here, but it actually brings up my point here, like why this is such a crucial game here, because if JFK is able to do something here, right? I mean, we are just talking bedlam for this. Like, listen, the PSAL office, they want Curtis to win. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the PSAL, but this would be madness.
Yeah, that is shake things up. That is
Curtis might be undefeated at this point.
We didn't, and that's where I can bring you in again, Jared. So Curtis, South Shore, Port Richmond, Fort Hamilton, Lincoln.
They might win all those games. Like you could argue that they're favored in all those games.
Objectively, they're favorites in all those games.
Yeah, on paper they are the favorites, and they're the favorite in this one too. So like,
but how convincing?
Start is pretty nice.
How convincing? Now you're looking at some of these matchups in your head, and you're like, nah, this is belt. or are you looking at some of these matches and you're like, yo, bro, this can be a good game. You know what I'm trying to say?
No.
Yeah, no,
That's
100%.
how I'm looking at some of these matchups like right now, and
Mhm.
that's the exciting part. You know what I'm trying to say? That's really the exciting
Yeah.
part where it's like we might have some upsets here, and I'm all for that. You know,
And the
I'm
thing
all for
again, where
that.
I'll throw it to Jared is this Curtis team struggled to score last year. Spoilers for everyone. They're not going to struggle to score this year.
Yeah. I got a pretty good feeling about that, man.
Yeah, so super exciting matchup. And honestly, I think it was a very, very good transition that we take a peek at Curtis's schedule. You would say that they are favored in their first 4 games, arguably their first 5 games. They could be 5-0. This next team could be 5-0, maybe 4-1. And that leads into the next matchup. E Hall. Listen, E Hall Curtis. Listen, y'all can just sign it up. It's gonna be on the game of the week list. It has to be. E, a New York City man. Is this not the let me think of just great rivalries that define leagues. I mean, the Lakers, Celtics,
Yeah, this
Knicks,
is one of those.
Sixers, like
Yeah, this is definitely one of the premier rivalries for NYC sports for sure. Dating back years and years. Like even that the E Hall alumni and the Curtis alumni, they would tell you, how big this game is to them. I could only imagine the energy, around practice that week when you're preparing for this type of matchup, you know. But I feel like the thing that we have to pay attention with this matchup here is the timing of it. I feel like at week 6, we're gonna see everything we need to know at this point in the season. We're deep enough into the season to know what's what, whose quarterback is ready for the moment, um, whose defense is ready for postseason football, whose running game is ready for postseason football. At week 6 in the season, we're gonna see all of that. Everything is going to be on full display. Um, yeah. Everything will be on full display. And the reason why I mention that is because once again we have 2 new quarterbacks on both sides who will be taking over for both sides. I mean, 2 guys who I feel like I'm actually high on both of these guys. I feel like both of them should have productive seasons, but let's see where both of these quarterback ones are at this point in the season in week 6. That can determine a lot.
I love how you put it too, because I do think it is time to start thinking about these games a bit differently. We're really getting to the business end of the season here, and now we're talking. Listen, I think if you're a top contender, your biggest fear, the nightmare, the thing that should keep you awake at night is the 2-3 matchup. You just do not want to be in the 2-3 matchup.
Yeah.
You never want to be in the 2-3 matchup in this PSAL because you essentially have to play 2 championship games.
Yeah.
And honestly,
back-to-back,
maybe
that
the way
sucks.
that this league looks, maybe the 1-4 matchup could be the same way. Who knows? Yeah, traditionally the 1-4 matchup in this league in particular has been very favorable for the 1 seed. But who knows this year? So Jared, what do you think about this matchup when you think about the playoffs and stuff, man?
Yeah, no, the seeding, it's huge. I think you really nailed it trying to avoid that 2-3 matchup because I've seen it, in other leagues and especially when it comes to the 4A, I feel like sometimes the top 3 can kind of separate itself. Obviously, it's early on, but I don't know if that'll be the point. Injuries, how teams perform, all that stuff. But like, you gotta try to avoid that. And also, like, yeah, you get as the top seed, you play the number 18 which will be obviously a little bit easier. Also, the potential reseeding aspect of it too. Say a 6 maybe knocks off a 3. Like, you want to be the number 1 seed at the end of the day. So these type of games are massive for it. And yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. Also with Tommy Zay and Christian Carter, 2 guys that have quite the experience from the Catholic League, now going against each other in PSAL action. I think it's really cool. You know, like when Moore was playing St. Joe's, like this was, you know, it was Carter versus Zay. It was really cool. And now they're doing it for Ehall and Curtis. So I think I think that'll be a nice, fun kind of Staten Island matchup here, taking place at Sid Luckman.
Let me ask you a question, Jared. What type of offense does St. Joseph by the Sea run? What type of offense do they run?
I'm pretty sure they run a traditional spread, no?
They throw the ball.
But they run it more. They run the ball.
It?
They run the hell. At least last year they ran the hell out of the ball with Joey Moran a lot. I'm not gonna say I saw a lot of C football. Maybe Pete can help us out. He watches more C football
because I don't know why. Like the guys like his build gives me that he runs a lot. So now, he looked good in 7-on-7, but I will look good in 7-on-7 at quarterback. And I didn't play quarterback in my days. Like I don't know.
So two things I want to add. One, funny enough, this is a fun fact. Pete can back me up. You know, St. Joe's by the Sea back in my day when I played, they actually ran like a wing tee. I can't even call it a wing tee. They run the ball. They ran some madness. They ran some madness when I played. Okay, that's interesting that they run a pro style. Okay, they have a new OC this year. Okay. And second, you know, I actually give you guys a little inside scoop. I hope he doesn't mind me. No, should I say? Yeah, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I actually did, you know, have a little conversation with Christian. He said he's not a run first guy, but he can do it.
Okay.
So he's like he relies on his arm for the most part.
Double wing.
Yo, guys, this is some real madness. Real madness I had to go through. It was some madness. And they had a running back named Lyle McCombs who went to UConn. And
I was about to say, I've not heard of that.
And people talk about, like, this dude ran 4.3. Like, this kid actually ran 4.3. Like no, like actual like. Anyway, Ehall, Curtis. I mean, what else? We have previewed this game. No, in all seriousness, I have live streamed this game. I want to say this is my 5th or 6th time live streaming this game in 3 years. Think about that for a minute. Yeah. That's mad crazy. This team plays all the time. This matchup, you know, Gambo, Danny Lamberg. I mean, this is just class at its finest. And I think that if I could predict, I really do think that these two teams are going to have high flying offenses. And I think this game is going to look similar to the first matchup they played where it was a high scoring game. That's what I think. So this next game is a game that we saw last year. And it's very interesting. This is a very, very interesting game. I'm going to go to E first on this game. Eagle Brooklyn versus Tottenville.
Yeah. Is this game at the Nest?
It is at the Nest.
Okay.
For some reason.
So, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, the kids over at Eagle, they want their get back, man. I know Tottenville came into the Nest last year and handled business. You know, but I feel like
they played a good half though, E. They played a good half.
No, you're right. I remember that. Yeah. They did play a good half.
You had a field day with that
drill. You're right. Second half it got crazy, but yeah, first half I just felt like offensively, you know, the Eagle offense was a little stagnant that day. Yeah, and a few key mistakes. I remember a couple fumbles and offensively just a sloppy day for Eagle. But I think it's a different ball game this time around. I just think up front now, I know Tottenville, they're always a program where offensively on their O-line, they're always pretty strong. You know, I don't know who's coaching the O-line at 100 Luton, but Tottenville always, they're always solid up front. But I don't think it's gonna be enough this year. I think Eagle is gonna dominate that game up front, and those playmakers are gonna do what they do. Losing a guy like Kyle Charles, you need, with the amount of weapons that these schools have, you need all of your DBs. So that was a very big L, I feel like, for Tottenville, and I don't know if Eagle wins this convincingly, but I think Eagle definitely will come out with this W for sure.
Hey, listen, it's August 3rd and we haven't seen any of the teams, but one thing I can tell you is it's actually, on paper, when I think about it, it's really not the greatest matchup for Eagle, especially because Eagles' front seven is so good, right? But again, we don't know what their secondary looks like. They're missing a Shiloh Burgess, and we all know where Corey Brown shines the most. Is at that second level.
You're not catching them.
Yeah, you're really not catching Corey Brown. So
I've seen some of his TDs. He's running with the turf rocks. Like, there's nobody near Corey Brown. Like, it's like, it was crazy with some of his TD runs. Like, Gigi feels a little different.
Listen, again, I am big on like shore tacklers. 7-on-7, not gonna tell you nothing about shore tacklers. I don't know if everyone's defending good, but they doing seat belt, whatever, right? I ain't worried about all that. There's no threat. God, don't make me do this again. Listen,
he said everybody doing seat belts.
Like there is no threat to run the ball. You don't have to tackle in 7-on-7.
That sounds like music to DB's ears, right? I don't gotta tackle. Not all.
You know what I'm saying? It makes it a whole lot easier when you only have to worry about passing. So yes, listen.
Nah, that's funny.
We really cannot underrate the hole that Shiloh Burgess has left in that team, and I'm sure at this time I'm obviously going to be singing a different tune because we're going to see the teams. Right? It's week 7. So really exciting.
Yeah.
Jared, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, I'm super pumped for it. Tottenville, yeah, by this time we'll obviously know what their QB situation looks like. So, them passing against Eagle will be intriguing. The other thing, one of the underrated losses for Tottenville was one of their starting offensive linemen who went to Farrell. So,
James, right? James.
Yeah, and anytime in high school football when you lose a starting offensive lineman, especially when it's not to graduation, that hurts. And a couple of seniors were on that line, I believe, last year too. So that is such a tough blow, especially in a game like this where you're going against two FBS edge rushers in Jason Sincere. I mean, that's incredible. And also Jonathan Stevens on the D line too, who's getting Division I offers. So yeah, I'm intrigued because Tottenville, it feels like they're always great up front. Now, let's see how they're always well coached up front. Let's see how their offensive line matches up against, one of the best defensive line units in New York State. I think that will be a really fun matchup to keep track of, and it'll be good. Also, with Tottenville's defense, they're so well coached. They actually shut down Eagle last year. They were the team to really shut them down. So let's see if Eagle can, single digits. It's probably the only time that happened, right? So let's see if Eagle can, get some revenge here and put a bunch of touchdowns up against.
Yeah, and I want to harp on the importance of Chase Hyacinth and Sincere Hester in this matchup, especially when it comes to, whoever's on the backside. And they did a really good job, especially in that first half of tackling Tyshawn and Corey. And a lot of those plays came from the backside end. Of course, Tottenville is doing madness in front of you. So this guy's pulling, that guy's pulling. You know what I'm saying? So if you're the free man, you have to make the choice whether if I'm going to crash down the line or if I'm going to peel back. And whatever decision you make could be the difference of a 6-yard gain or
60
yard to the crib.
But let's not forget though. I'm remembering this game. Special teams was a very
Yes.
key component to this game. I believe Tyneville recovered 2. It might have been more than 2, Dre. How
I think
much?
it was 2. You're
They
so
Oh,
right.
recovered at least 2 kickoffs. So
yeah.
onside kicks. So special teams played a very important role in this game. And then I know Eagle turned the ball over as well. So it
Mhm.
was just a lot going on for Eagle that game. So
Some fumbles.
yeah. And then when you're recovering 2 onside kicks, it's like, bro, like,
Yeah.
that's just possessions we're not having now. And it's like you can't let an offense that had what they had get extra possessions. You know what I mean? It's like that's never gonna end well for you. So that was
Yeah.
just a game that I feel like Eagle as a whole probably just wish that they could have ran it back or something like that. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Sometimes games are like that. You know, it's like, damn, you know, we messed up here, we messed up here. You know what I mean? We wish we could get this back. We can't get it back.
Oh,
But you're gonna get it back on November
yeah.
6th, 2026. That's when you're gonna get it back. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, it's my 3rd time saying it, but yes, this is only 4A, so I appreciate you guys, asking about the 3A and the 2A, and I
Yeah, that's
promise
like the 5th time. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do my whole song and
We
dance, but
show the 3A love. We
We'll show
show
plenty,
yeah,
the
man.
I
2A
promise
love.
we're gonna get you guys in. Asking about Zaza, I mean, we're gonna talk about Zaza all year long. Like we talk.
Yeah,
I'll be
like,
honest with y'all.
he gonna
We
be
talk
making
about
plays
Zaza so much.
all
We
year
know
long. Yeah.
we know. Like I love Zaza to my core. That boy
What you wanted
good.
to say about him?
Yeah, like
You know,
that
we
boy good.
already know what he's about to do. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's him. We know that. He wildin'.
Soft. I mean, actually, let's give him a little credit. I mean, E, you've been watching him for so long. I mean, a first team All City as a sophomore. I mean,
Yeah,
that is
honestly,
quite the achievement for real.
It is. I honestly, I wasn't surprised one bit. Dom and Tyler Grayson, Eagle got so many tools. Yeah, Eagle got a lot of.
Yes.
You know, we
Tyler.
mentioned we know they got a bunch of, but I feel like Tyler is transitioning more to a defensive player for Eagle.
Really?
I'm not sure if I'm not. Well, maybe somebody in the Eagle camp could confirm that, but I don't know how his reps are looking on the offensive side of the ball. But back to Zaza now. Zaza's a guy. He's always been just an electric player, man. Back to youth football. It was just a matter of time until the city noticed who Zaza was. You know what I mean? Like anyone who knew about Zaire Schultz's, they weren't surprised once he started to flourish. And the crazy thing is that there's more to it. There's more to it. You know what I mean? It's like he has more. He has more in his game, and he's the type of player to put up certain numbers, and he's the type of player to go viral with his playing style and with the type of moves, and it's just can't wait to see him this year, man. Just can't wait to see him this year.
Yeah, man. So last game of the night. The final game to conclude it all. And I wonder if this is going to be tradition. These two teams playing for that trophy. Tottenville versus Curtis at 100 Luton. Jared, take it away.
Tyneville versus Curtis.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one just means a little bit more over there on Staten Island, that's for sure. And listen, I have to say, the most obvious headline, at least to date right now, when it comes to this game, especially because it's at 100 Luton, is when Kyle Charles walks onto that field.
I can't believe. I still can't believe it.
Like, yeah.
Somebody just said
it's
that.
pretty crazy. Yeah, the timing on that. Yeah, we just said it. He's gonna be walking in a Curtis uniform to 100 Luton. I think that in itself is gonna be crazy.
If I was him, I was trolling.
Yeah, and the student section is gonna be ready. I think, on both sides. Tottenville was packed when I went there when they played Ehol. I think, it's going to be packed to this game as well. And last year, you guys remember the last time these two teams met? It was chaos. It was insane with the Jets helping
Yeah, I
out.
was gonna
And
say, I wonder if that's gonna
Crazy
happen this
game.
year. Yeah, I wonder if that's gonna happen this year.
yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
was
Tomville's
so crazy.
homecoming.
What?
Oh,
No
that's what
way.
somebody
Are you
just said in
sure
the
about that?
comments. That's what somebody just said in the comments
Last game
too.
of the regular season. Interesting.
Wow.
But yeah, it's gonna be nuts. And also the battle of Corey and Quadir,
Yeah,
2 4-year running backs at
yeah.
these schools. It's impressive. I'm excited to see them go at each other for a final regular season battle. Will be good.
E.
Yeah, I will have to agree with Jared. I feel like this is always one of the matchups, especially on the island, that's always anticipated. That just for the city period, it's always a highly anticipated game. Um, like Jared mentioned as well, Quadir Gomez, and I get this feeling when I've seen guys for 4 years. I remember when Quadir Gomez was a freshman playing against Ehol at Sid Luckman, and I think he was wearing number like 24. He was doing his thing, and they're like, "Yo, this kid's a freshman," and now he's a senior. It's crazy, man. Corey Brown as well. Um, we got to see those two go at it. Um, yeah, back to the same question, man. We'll see what the quarterback play is about from both sides. Um, Now I know Carter is a seasoned guy. He was a starter at his former school and all of that good stuff. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a good one. Definitely going to be a good one from 100 Luton. And no one mentioned this. No one mentioned this tonight about Curtis, but I want to see how they look on their D line.
With
Oh,
Jared
yeah.
Surratt. Such a good point.
Yeah, I'm surprised none of us brought that up. I really want to see what Curtis is looking like on that. I'm so used to seeing them from the past few years. They're just causing havoc up front. So I'm interested to see what Curtis is working with defensively as a whole, honestly.
And no Jalil as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
No.
So Agent Zero,
Yeah. No, I'm
or Shalik himself, sure.
no. I asked the chat a question. I'm just getting a post
Oh, nah,
ready.
you good. You good.
But honestly, when it comes to this matchup, yeah, I think yeah, give me a different one. I'm not sure if it's Agent Zero for him. No, but this matchup, I mean, guys, this matchup, everything could be on the line in this matchup. When it comes to playoff seeding, both of these teams are going to have their run-ins with Erasmus Hall the week before. Tottenville's going to have their run-in with Eagle Academy. Where's Tottenville at this point of the year? Where's Curtis at this point of the year?
Yeah,
It,
a lot could be on the line right here, yo.
like everything,
Could be on the
everything
line.
is on the line.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
And of course, that trophy, is back at 100 Luton. If yes, the previous year, Curtis won it. So now this is the third time that they're playing. So let's see who can get this win. It must have been so amazing for Tottenville to win it at the Castle last year. How much it could be even better winning it at their place. We're gonna have so much to say about this game once it comes at this point. It's hard to even imagine Week 8 sitting here at August 3rd. But God willing, it's gonna get there. So, what a matchup we have here, so guys. That is the game of the week schedule, and here it is in all of its glory.
Listen, the good thing is, right? Whenever this schedule is revealed, you know what that means? The season is here.
Yo,
That means the season is here. Yes, that means the season is here.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, let's go to Jared first. You know, I love putting him on the spot. What matchup are you looking forward to the most?
Listen, man. I mean, for me personally, I'm obviously really excited about Eagle E-Hole, but there's something about JFK Lincoln that just has me fired up.
Word. Word.
Maybe it's because of how that game happened last year in the quarterfinals. Maybe it's because it's finally in the Bronx. Like that one is gonna be awesome, and I'm super excited to see that game. There's gonna be a lot of great talent, and it's also relatively early, week 3, so we'll be getting that one soon. So that's my pick for sure.
E.
I think it gotta be week 2, man. I feel like part of what I said earlier, I feel like that still stands, at least for me. Regardless of the outcome of this game, as long as it's competitive, I'm gonna tell myself it's only week 2. But it's just a matchup that I feel like it's a statement game for both sides, and I just can't wait to see the energy out there. And it's a game that all of the players had checked off from once the PSL released the schedules. You know what I mean? It's like that. That's the game that was circled for everyone, and I just can't wait to see how it goes down.
Yeah, no, I think everyone's answer has to be Eagle, of course. But Ehole Curtis. I'm really, really excited for that game. A game that I wish was on this list is Curtis
APR versus Sheepshead. No, let me not say. Let me not do that. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Yo, Dre, what's up?
Shout out to the
Dre.
Sharks. Shout out to APR. Cross your fingers.
Carlo,
Matt came alive. Matt came alive.
Yo,
Yeah,
Mac, I didn't want to be
that
that
game's
guy,
on
man.
Sunday, by the way.
I didn't want to be that guy, man. Somebody had to say it. We had comments all night. Yo, 3A. Where's the 3A? Where's the 3A? Listen, that's a matchup. I know we only talk 4A stuff, but that's a matchup, trust me, we all want to see. We all want to see that matchup.
I know
Coach Perlo.
went off
Coach
on my
Perlo,
phone.
I know you somewhere over there. Yo, Mac said Mac was probably dozing off. What they say? Yeah. Coach Perlo, I know you're gonna watch this maybe tomorrow or something. We want to see that game. The whole city does. The whole city does.
Listen, I want to see it too. The game I was gonna say personally is Eagle Curtis.
My bad, Dre. My fault.
Eagle Curtis, I'm really disappointed we don't get that run back. I feel like, again, that might be my new term, return to the scene of the crime. Eagle needs to return to the scene of the crime too. I don't know, something in me is telling me that we're gonna see that matchup in the playoffs. I don't know what round it's gonna be in, but I feel like Eagle and Curtis have unfinished business.
Yeah. That is a good game, Coach.
I want to see Madison
Hell yeah, that's a good game. Hell yeah.
How that ended last year? Yeah, I really want to see that game.
Yeah, listen, there are so many 3A matchups I'm so excited for. I'm the person who's been on record saying that I think that the PSL 3A is going to be one of the most competitive leagues in the entire state. Find me a league. First of all, it's hard to find me a league with 10 teams, more than 10 teams. But then find me a league where there's legitimate 11 teams who can make the playoffs.
Boys and girls versus Bryant.
Oh,
damn!
Championship rematch right there.
Oh yeah, that is a good one actually.
Yeah, it's a championship rematch in the 2A. Hopefully that one's in Queens.
Yeah, man. So yeah, listen, guys.
Bryant lost a lot of pieces, but we're not gonna open that. Discuss that.
Makai, where you been all night, man?
Yeah, I was
there he is.
Where you was at, bro? What's up?
Makai, the game will be streamed on Lincoln Media, my friend.
Oh, Mac, when is that game against South Shore?
Oh, is that week 0 or week -1?
Yo, Mac, what you saying? What you yo, coach, what you doing that game? Like what you saying? You like your chances against in that game, coach?
Put him on the spot. September
I know.
September 5th is week 0, right? Or oh god, are there 3
Yeah.
non-leagues now? So is it week -2?
My bad, Mac. What time? September 5th. That's my bad. But what time?
Yo, do we have to say week -2 because there's 3? How come no week 0 games? Because
What
the
you mean,
no.
why we not live streaming anymore?
No. We could live stream games, but yeah, the game of the week is strictly league games. That's how I've always done it. We'll see where at. Well, non-league, I will be streaming Eagle versus Friendship Academy.
The 28th.
The 28th of August.
They gotta get you to Ohio.
I no, they don't. unless they got that, now cash money.
Wait, that's a road game for Eagle? That's a road game? It's away?
Yeah, in Ohio.
It's in Ohio. Oh, okay.
Like I would need like hotel, spa day. No, Sage Media not cheap. Curtis St. Peters. Where is Curtis St. Peters? Let me know where that is. I know a guy at Curtis.
Curtis St. Peters.
Oh, it's probably it's not at the baseball stadium. Ferry Hawk. Is it at Ferry Hawk this year?
Oh, that field.
Yeah, let me know. But yo, I don't know, Jarrell. I feel like I don't like that one, Jarrell. That's all I'm saying.
That sounded wild, right? What?
Yo, that's my guy. I didn't know how else to reply to it. Makai, you made the graphics, so hopefully you happy, Makai. Honestly, Makai, you had a classic moment. Who was it? Was it that Makai yelled at when he scored like one of his touchdowns? He's like, you better put me on that list. It was Hidden Gems, right? Shout out to Hidden Gems.
That happened to me a few times.
Makai, you were hilarious. That happened to you a few times?
Yeah, they come at all of you guys. What? All of y'all guys.
Oh, they come at us through you.
Listen, yeah. Listen, they done told me about Andre, Jared, Coach Mac, everybody, LJ. Y'all all got it. I be like, yo, listen, man. It's all right. It's all right.
Yo, hilarious. But guys, listen, that is the game of the week schedule. 2 hours on a Monday in August, man. Guys, we're right there. We are right there. I'm so excited. And obviously once the games start, like they just go. So don't take it for granted, guys. Just to be able to do this for a third year, shout out to my brothers E and Jared for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just amazing that we're here again. And I feel like it's everything media-wise it's just gonna be on a different level this year. That's really what I'm thinking. I think more people are gonna grab us and start talking to us. There's gonna be more cameras. I mean, the amount of cameras from week 1, like from the first year I did this to the second year, was crazy.
Yeah.
So I think this year there's going to be even more cameras. Shout out to Jared getting Newsday involved.
Yes, sir.
I see. I think shout out to Keystar. I like the work that Keystar Network does. They do good coverage. Shout out to FB4. Doing their coverage on Staten Island.
Shout out to Hidden Gems.
Of course.
Actually going outside and covering the Hidden Gems, the 2A ball, the 1A ball, which we cover it all as well. But yeah, shout out to Hidden Gems.
Yeah, of course, GG. I think GG is gonna take a whole different step.
Yeah, his content has been unbelievable.
So I think media is gonna explode this year for real, man. Yo, shout out to Jarrell for real, because that's my guy in real life. So appreciate you, my guy.
That's my guy too. Facts.
So it's an exciting year. I think this year is I do believe the unexpected is gonna happen this year. That's what I'll say. I do think the unexpected is going to happen this year.
Now that can go a lot of different ways.
That's why you know me, baby. I'm media trained. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we're gonna come here on a Monday, be like, I can't believe that just happened. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm excited this year. I think there's gonna be a lot. I think the athletes are. I don't know. I feel like the athletes are on a different level in New York City. You know, there have been years where there've been multiple Division I offers. There's been future NFL players in the league. We know the history. Shout out to Coach Vega. I'm gonna give him a shout out because, you know, we had a long conversation and he was giving me some history. He'd be like, "Yo, yeah, acting like the league just got good. Like we had NFL players, which is a fact. Give him that. But I think we shout out to Movie Chains as well, because that event really just, I don't know if that Move the Chain 7-on-7 was like any sign for like the health of New York City right now. It's just awesome. So sorry guys, I'm excited. I'm mad excited.
Oh yeah.
Jared, your closing words, man.
Yeah, man, I'm thrilled. Big thank you to everyone who, you know, showed up, watched the stream, and of course talking in the chat. I love interacting with all you guys. This community is amazing. It's only gonna get bigger and stronger. So yeah, super pumped for it. It's always good chatting with the guys, and yeah, the game of the week schedule is loaded. Pumped to see what Dre has got for the flex games, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, keep working hard this offseason, man. It's almost showtime.
Yeah, man. You know, I hope everyone, you know, I hope you won the off season, because the season is here. So I'm just excited for what's to come. And yeah, you know, and like I always say, it's no better time of the year, you know. This is the best time of the year. So just excited for what's to come, man.
Yeah, guys, you know, I'm getting ready to get that post, that Instagram post again. You know what we're here for the full game of the week schedule. Make sure you guys share that out, put it on your stories, run up the numbers and all that. You know, to my guys again, Jared E. You know, make sure y'all get some rest in these next couple of weeks. Yeah, we will be back. We'll probably be back before the week -2 game. So the first game is August 28th. So whatever that Monday is, we'll be back.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we know we'll have
action.
No, actually, should we come back after what do you guys think? After week 0 or before week 0? I forget what we usually do.
I say after.
After week 0?
After we see.
Oh, Eli, yo, Dre, let me get that extra week, bro. Chill out. Let me get that extra week.
I wanna see some football first, and then it's like,
Nah, I respect. That's cool, Jared.
What's up?
We come back after the August 28th game is our first show.
Yeah.
I think we did that last year.
Yeah, after, for sure.
Everyone's playing, so it's like, I feel like it makes sense. Everyone's playing, so
yeah. I was gonna say a bunch of good non-league games.
Pete,
yeah, right after.
Pete, it's good. Like $1, Pete. I think it might be cheaper than that. I think it might be cheaper than that. I don't even remember how much it is, but how much is that subscription? I forgot.
Especially this year, like once the season starts up, I think it'll either be you can get it 25 cents for 6 months or $1 for a year.
Pete funny. He said,
man.
No, yo, listen, he's trying to eliminate that debt. I understand.
Yo, son.
Yo, Pete, we would never judge.
Yo, I didn't even see it. All I heard is, yo, Pete, it's $1.
He said, can you send me a free Newsday script? I think it might be $1.
Oh my God, I'm dead. You see, this is why you got to watch to the end, man. You get funny stuff like this over here.
Shout out to Pete though, man. Pete was on the whole show, man. Shout out to Pete.
Ooh, huge shout out to people. Yo, guys, listen, we out of here. We're definitely out of here, guys. We really appreciate you guys for watching, for the VOD watchers. Appreciate y'all too.
Everybody tuning in, man.
Definitely.